How important do you think it is to have a mentor?
I think it's, in some cases I actually get the feeling that an ambitious person in the career and doing his or her development feels that I have to have a mentor because you have to have a mentor. Because everyone has, it says so in the advice columns, in the blogs, they talk about you should have a mentor, so I need to have a mentor. And that might be, I mean, that could be the good reason that you choose in order to then get a mentor. But it's not, some people don't need it or shouldn't, and it's not the right thing, and others at different points in the career do need it and do wish to have a mentor. You really have to ask yourself, would I value having a mentor? And then maybe even that is not the right step actually, because it is not about, I mean, a mentor, one person that is a mentor could be something very different and have a very different role from a different person that is a mentor for someone. So a mentor is not a mentor, if you see what I mean. These are very different roles. I had a good example of that when I was in one of those programs where we were a group of mentors discussing what is it to be a mentor. And that's obviously very useful. And it was a useful reminder that there are so many different ways of viewing the mentorship relationship. We had, for example, the discussion there, can you be friends with your mentee? And I said, well, that depends on what how do you define friendship? I mean, friendship is to me a relation where I am in a mutual relationship where we like each other, we trust each other. That's friendship. But then obviously there are different types of friendships. And I realized then the other person who wanted to make a big difference between a mentorship and friendship, and that can never be mixed. He said, well, I cannot, if I become friends with my mentee, that means I cannot be honest. And I was, okay, so you're not honest with your friends? I didn't say it because that would have been rude. But I did think that, how can you, because I mean, my friends, that's really whom I need to be able to be, what are friends for if I can't be honest with? So that's definitely not something that takes away that you can shut out of a mentorship. I have a lot of my mentees that I regard as friends in one respect. Not in all respects, but it can be in very different ways with different people. And you have to be able to have it in different ways.
How can a person seek out a mentor and build a mentor relationship?
If someone asks me, I want a mentor, I think I need a mentor, what am I going to do? Try find a person that you think could be valuable as a mentor and ask that person. And just say, hey, I think it would be very valuable for me to talk to you because I think you've done some of the things that I'd like to learn about. I think I can learn from you. Can I buy you a cup of coffee sometime? It's as easy as that. It's not more difficult. And you can get either a, yes, of course, or, no, I'm sorry, I don't have the time. You will not get, that's a stupid question, how can you ask such a question? That will not come. And I don't think someone will think that either. Most of the time someone would be flattered. That person might think, I would love to, but my calendar is absolutely terrible. I don't have room, I don't have time, I'm sorry. And that might be the case, and then you'll just have to find another person who's not that busy.
That's a great answer. Because in my question, I was about to say, but what should you do if you feel like you need advice? Mm-hmm. It's like ask someone for advice.
Exactly, yeah.
That's basically it.
Yeah. To dare to ask.
Yeah.
I think often we are afraid to ask. But then again, I can relate to, and I have been in situations where I get a question. If I could we meet and just have a cup of coffee, or I'd like to meet. That would be great to make your acquaintance. Where it is more of a getting used, where I would feel that is because they'd like to get in touch with me because of some hoping to get a network or whatever. And it's always in those cases, if you say that I think you have valuable contacts, I really would need access to those. This is my agenda, this is what I want. Can you please let me buy you a cup of coffee? It is a lot better than to say, yeah, I'd just like to meet. It would be great to get to know you. Like, all right, I understand that there is an agenda. Please tell me. Honesty is always, because it shines through. So it's better to just say what it is you want. You may get I can happily share contacts, and most people would, if they feel that, yeah, I could help, and I know that this is the agenda. I'm okay with this agenda. Sure, let's do it.
No one likes being used.
No, not without knowing it, and without that it is open. It's better to have an open dialogue. Say, hey, you can help me. Would you please help me if you can? And sometimes when you ask, you get a yes, and sometimes you get a no, and it's as simple as that. You cannot be too afraid of getting the no. It's always as long as you ask a polite question, a no is not dangerous.
And now my last question is just, do you have any other thoughts or comments?
I had to look at my paper. I did actually do some thinking, but I think we've been into most of it. Yeah, that's. I would like to share that from a mentor's perspective, it's a luxury to be a mentor. It's a really a privilege. Not only because it's flattering. Obviously, someone thinks I have something valuable to add. Ooh, that's flattering and that's nice. We all like that, to be appreciated. But also the other part, apart from that, is that I get to share the perspectives of someone else. Often a person who's younger than me, or who's in a different situation, who, as a part of the mentorship, that's natural, it has to be that, shares with me his or her thoughts about the situation they're in. They have to explain the context and explain what's going on and what led up to it and what are their thoughts. And hey, it's such a resource. Not as something that I would use the specifics for, obviously, because it's confidential, but I can use that experience that I get from that person. That's great. It's really valuable. So that part, the peek hole that I get, the view into someone else's perspective is extremely valuable, especially with young people, where I believe that I can identify, and I say, and then I realize, nah, it's different. But it's same, but it's different. Another thing that is very valuable for me as a mentor is that I get to, when I am in that type of relationship and I hear someone who's talking about this and I'm trying to figure out, so what can I add? How can I help this person, or how can I add some perspectives? I need to articulate those perspectives. I need to figure out, to take the experiences and gut feelings and put them down in words, and they need to be understandable. I need to be able to articulate what I'm thinking, why I'm thinking that in an understandable way, which, as always, teaches me something about myself and my thoughts and the experiences. So it's a good loop. It's a very good loop.